All right, so today I want to go over the interview style answering for Leetcode 347, which is top K frequent elements. And the reason I'm making this video is because I want to give you guys more of a resource in how exactly you should answer this question in an interview setting. I think that's a little bit more helpful than just giving you the answer and the runtime and the optimization for the question. So the first thing you want to do for this question and for any Leetcode question in an interview is clarify the problem. So to clarify Leetcode 347, we basically want to restate the question in a way that helps the interviewer know that you understand it. So the input of this problem is an array of integers and a number k. We want to return the k most frequent elements in the array. The order doesn't matter and each number is guaranteed to be valid. That means there are at least k unique elements in this array. We're assuming the input can be fairly large, so we want an efficient solution, ideally something around O and log n if possible. So my plan is to count how often each number appears using a hash map. And then I want to use a min heap to keep track of the top k elements. The idea is that I'll push frequency and number as a tuple into the heap. If the heap ever grows larger than k, I'll pop the smallest frequency off the heap. That way, by the end, the heap contains the k most frequent elements. This is more efficient than sorting all frequencies, which would be O and log n. By using a heap of size k, I keep the time complexity to n log k instead of n log n. So now we want to write some pseudocode, and that's always important to do in an interview because it helps the interviewer know that you're not just a code monkey, you're someone who understands at a high level what the code is doing. So let's break this down into pseudocode. So the first thing we want to do is we want to count the frequencies of the numbers using a hash map. All right, and so now the second thing we want to do is initialize a empty min heap. Okay, the third thing we want to do is for each number and frequency pair in the frequency map, we want to one, push the pair onto the heap, and then two, we want to, if the heap exceeds size k, we want to pop the smallest value off. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do is extract the numbers from the heap and return them, because we need to return the numbers that are the k most frequent elements. Okay, so this is our pseudocode. Now we can implement it, and it's a little bit easier to implement as we do. So to count the frequencies using a hash map, we can use counter, which is the, basically a tool in Python. It's like a subclass of dictionaries that basically assigns the frequency and value as a key value pair. So it's pretty simple to implement. We can call it a frequency map, and we can use counter. We'll basically take the array as its argument, and this will give us a key value pair of numbers and their frequency. All right, and now we want to initialize an empty heap, which is just a list in Python. So heap equals empty list. And then for each number pair in the frequency map. So we want to loop through not only just the frequency or the number, but the frequency and number. So we can do a loop for number and frequency in the frequency map. The values, that is, of the map, we want to Next, we want to push the pair onto the heap. So we want to use heap Q and heap push. Onto the heap, we want to push the tuple, the frequency and the number. And then if the heap exceeds size k, sorry, I'm trying to lower this down. There we go. If the heap exceeds size k, we want to pop the smallest value off. So if it exceeds size k, we want to call heap Q and we want to pop the value off the heap. And then next, we want to return, so we want to extract the value out of this heap, so we can put the answer in a list, and then we can get the num from the frequency num pair in our heap. And there you have it. We implemented our solution, and now we can do a quick walkthrough so the interviewer understands that we know what we're talking about. So if we have, for example, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, and k is equal to 2, the frequencies in this dictionary would be 1 shows up 3 times, 2 shows up 2 times, and then 3 shows up once. And then next, we would push 3, 1 as a pair, then we would push 2, 2, then we would push 1, 3. And so the heap has 3 elements once we do that, once we push 1, 3. So we know that's more than k, which is 2. So we would pop the smallest value, which is returning the index 1, 2. And that's it.